In the blistering heart of what is now Sindh, Pakistan, lies a city so ancient, so methodically constructed, that modern urban planners still speak of it with awe. Mohenjo Daro, the Mound of the Dead. But beneath the marvel of its engineering, behind the orderly grid of streets and the elegance of the Great Bath, there pulses a darker legend. One that refuses to die with the dust. Discovered in the 1920s by British archaeologists, Mohenjo Daro was unlike anything seen before. Built around 2500 BCE, its urban design boasted wells, granaries, and a sewage system more advanced than what some parts of the world enjoy today. Yet, there is something disturbingly hollow in its silence. No royal tombs, no weapons, no signs of conquest. Only one thing echoes through its ruins: absence. And then came the bones. Scattered across the streets, unburied and twisted in poses of agony, were human skeletons, men, women, and children. Not lying peacefully, but collapsed as if struck by some unseen terror. No signs of battle. No fire damage. No graves. Just death, sudden and unexplainable. Some claimed they were clutching each other when they fell. Scientists offered theories: climate change, a changing river course, maybe disease. But to the locals and mystics, there was another tale, older than science and told in hushed tones. The city defied the gods. Some say Mohenjo Daro was a place where men played at being divine. That its rulers summoned knowledge too great, too unnatural. That a celestial weapon, a fire brighter than 1,000 suns, was unleashed in a moment of arrogance or punishment. And in a blinding instant, the city's heart stopped. Even now, strange radiation levels have been recorded at the site, too faint to confirm, but too odd to ignore. This is only the beginning of the myth. For what lies beneath may not just be ruins, but a warning. The ruins of Mohenjo Daro whisper, especially at night. Locals refuse to go near them after dusk. The dead do not rest there, they say. Not because they are vengeful, no, something far worse. Because they are trapped. As excavations deepened, archaeologists uncovered a city eerily untouched by the normal rhythms of ancient decline. There were no signs of mass migration. No fortifications. No chronicled wars. And yet, the city had died. Not decayed, died. Stopped, as if frozen in its final breath. More unsettling still was the Great Bath. At first hailed as a religious or ceremonial structure, it became the center of darker speculation. What if it wasn't for cleansing the body, but for summoning? What if the people of Mohenjo Daro, masters of water, clay, and silence, had turned to rituals not meant for mortals? Ancient Vedic texts speak of weapons of the gods, the Brahastra, capable of annihilating cities in a flash, leaving the land poisoned and the air unbreathable. In the Mahabharata, it is written, it was as if the elements had been unleashed. The sun spun like a sickle. The earth shook. The wind screamed. While many dismiss this as poetic metaphor, some researchers noticed an uncomfortable similarity between the myth and the strange findings at Mohenjo Daro. Reports, unconfirmed and often dismissed, spoke of vitrified stone, fused as if by intense heat, and skeletons showing radiation levels that puzzled scientists of the time. Could a weapon, ancient yet somehow real, have been used here? One beyond our understanding? Indian physicist Dr. Raja Ram Mohan Roy once hypothesized that such energy could not have been naturally produced by the civilization's technology, yet the data was never fully published. Some claim he was silenced. Others say he went mad after visiting the site. And the people who vanished, where did they go? Perhaps the better question is, what were they fleeing from? Time forgets. But Mohenjo Daro does not forgive. In the years following its discovery, strange accounts began to shadow the site. Archaeologists reported whispers echoing through the excavated streets, equipment inexplicably malfunctioning, and a persistent feeling of being watched, especially near the Great Bath. One worker refused to return after claiming he saw wet footprints leading away from the empty pool. The area was dry. And then there were the dreams. Several team members, unrelated and from different backgrounds, described eerily similar nightmares, visions of black water swallowing the city, of pale figures staring without eyes, of a sky torn open by light, and a low voice murmuring in a language no one knew, but all feared. These stories were buried, dismissed as stress, heat stroke, suggestion. But those who stayed too long often returned home changed. Quiet. Paranoid. Haunted. The locals have their own name for the site. Shaitan Ka Shiha, the city of the devil. They claim the city was not destroyed by gods, but by its own people, priests who had grown hungry for power beyond the veil. That a portal was opened, if only for a moment. And something, somewhere, looked back. This may all sound like myth. Like shadows wrapped in dust. But science still cannot explain the absence of fire, of war, of disease, only death. And not just death, but disappearance. An entire civilization evaporated with no succession, no migration, no trace. Today, visitors are warned not to take stones or artifacts from the site. Not for archaeological reasons, but because those who do often find themselves followed, by silence, by misfortune, by dreams that do not end. Mohenjo Daro is quiet now. Too quiet. But perhaps it is not dead. Perhaps it waits.